Hey guys, so I just got the holiday update 2022.44.25.1, so we're going to go over the features coming up. So it seems like this is the second year that Tesla has released a holiday update, and so these ones typically are a little bit bigger, so I just got it yesterday, so let's go through it. First thing is Apple Music. So if you saw the picture on Twitter, Elon was over at the Apple campus, the spaceship, like last week or a couple weeks ago, and he was talking with Tim Cook, and so that's probably why they hopefully have Apple Music now. A lot of people have been asking for it for a really long time. Me personally, I don't really use that. I'm very old school and I just use the radio, but I know Apple Music, Spotify, those types of, like Pandora, those types of music apps are very important to people, so we finally have Apple Music. So if you're one of those people, hopefully that's very useful for you. So that's a new update. Zoom meetings, there was a little, I guess, trailer, whatever you want to call it, on Tesla's website a couple weeks ago, and they were kind of basically doing a commercial showing Zoom meetings you can now do in the car. So it actually uses the interior camera up there, and you can do a Zoom meeting straight from a car. You know, if you're whatever, supercharging or something like that, and you know, have a lunch meeting or whatever. So if you do Zoom meetings a lot, there you go, you can do that on here. This is a really nice one. I like this one, dog mode. And so basically what they've done with dog mode now is they've allowed you to use the interior camera as well to check on your pet that's in the car when dog mode is on. And so keep in mind though, it says feature on the mobile app, you need to have mobile app version 4.15, and you need to have premium connectivity. So I don't have premium connectivity, so I wouldn't be able to use this, but if you do, you can use this. And it's just like being able to monitor your Sentry mode from your app as well. Also needs premium connectivity, so that's a nice little thing. And this is how you get into it. If you go into, it says dog mode or Sentry mode, go to enable live camera, tap control safety, and then go to view live camera on your mobile app, and then you can check on your pet. Always a good thing to have, you know, especially if you're running around a store or doing whatever you're doing and the pet is in the car. You want to make sure that they are still okay and, you know, not roasting or, you know, freezing to death. This was a really cool one from last year, scheduled light show. So basically you can set it up, and the light show basically, you know, close the door and it plays the light show with the mirrors and the lights. Really fun. Pretty cool. If you search YouTube, I'm sure you'll find a million of those videos now. They've done another one. I haven't even looked at it yet, so I don't know. I'm going to assume it's a different song that they use, and obviously it's going to be a different light show with the mirrors in the headlights. But yeah, that's a new thing you can do. You can do it with multiple cars. I mean, it says multiple cars, but basically you just have to time it yourself, so I don't really know if that's relevant or not. But yeah, so that's a new thing too, which is cool. I wonder if they're going to keep doing this, you know, year after year, which is kind of fun, just to, I guess, kind of a Christmas present from Tesla. So that's kind of a fun thing that they've added for, you know, last year and this year. Climate control fan speed. So if you are a fan of using automatic climate control when you're in the car, basically if you use it, you turn it on and it just blows the fan as, you know, whatever it thinks is necessary to get it down to your temperature that you're setting. So, you know, I do use automatic, and I have noticed that sometimes it's like blowing way too hard, especially in the morning if it's like trying to heat up the car. And so now what you can do is you can actually select low, medium, or high, so that way you don't get blasted in the face so hard, you know, with heat when it's trying to heat up the car. So that's a nice additional control to the fan speed. MyQ Connected Garage, you can kind of think of this as like HomeLink. So if you have a Chamberlain or a LiftMaster garage, MyQ is kind of their app, their product that they do. So you can actually use an app on your phone to open the garage door remotely. And so what this feature does is it'll connect your MyQ account to the car, so that way you should be able to use your car. Like you can open the garage door from the car just like you would if you had HomeLink. So that's a really nice feature. They must have obviously worked with Chamberlain on that to get that set up. So pretty nice, because I still have like this car, $70,000 car does not have HomeLink. So I still have to use my little actual garage remote here, which is kind of annoying for how expensive this car is, but it is what it is. I don't have my cube, even though I do have a LiftMaster garage, because I'm not paying extra money for that. I just have the clicker and it's totally fine with me. I don't care. Auto turn signals. So basically what this does is if you have your signal on, you're switching lanes, the car will automatically turn off the signal when you get into the other lane if you wanted to do that. So if you're too lazy to flip it back, flip it up to turn it off, it can do it for you if you set it in controls, lights, and auto turn signals. So nice feature to have if you want to be lazy. I don't think I'm going to use this, but if you want to use it, please do. So for all you gamers out there, they added Mahjong as a new game, MJ. So pretty Asian game. I played it as a kid. If you're into this game, another game you can play on there, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know why they added this particular game, but that's cool. Track mode, yes, finally. So if you have a Performance Model Y like me, it did not have past tense track mode like the Model 3 did. So I was just wondering when they were going to do this, because we always think of the Model Y and the Model 3 as basically being the same car, but the Model Y is just bigger. So I didn't understand why there wasn't a reason for it to have track mode. Obviously it's technically a different car, but on the same chassis, all that stuff. So maybe there was some issues they had trying to get track mode onto the Performance Model Y. So now it is here, which is pretty cool. So let's go into it real quick. I just want to show you since I can. So if we go over to the car button, you go into pedals and steering, you now have track mode. So you can customize it here and then add all these presets and things for however you want the car to behave, if you're taking turns hard. I think it kind of depends on what kind of racing you're doing. So I've done track racing in the past, so tons of fun. You should totally do it if you have any Tesla, really, because these cars are really made to handle and go. A lot of fun, but if you autocross as well, the settings are probably going to be different because the speed in autocross isn't so high and you're doing a lot of braking and hard turning. But you can adjust it to however you want here, which is really cool. I'm sure it helps a little bit for drag as well. I've done that in the past too. But for me, this would be a really nice setting, like if before we had kids, for track racing, because track mode, track obviously is probably why it's there, but you could use it for other racing type events as well. But yeah, I would definitely use this for track mode. That would be a lot of fun. Confirm phone call transfer. So if you're on your phone and you're walking towards your car or something like that, basically what happens is if you get into the car, now what the car will do is it'll actually ask you, hey, I see that the phone is connected to Bluetooth to the car. I see you're on a call, and it'll come up with a confirmation somewhere, probably down here, saying, hey, do you want to switch your call from your, speaker on your phone to the car, and audio, so that way, you can just kind of seamlessly go. I like this feature because that way you can have hands-free, which is really the way you should be. I think it's still illegal in California to drive talking on the phone, like with the actual physical phone in your hand. So this is a nice way to negate that and not get in trouble. Contact lookup. So basically you can use, if your phone is connected via Bluetooth, so I'm assuming most of you guys are going to be using the phone key like me because it's the most convenient. You can just go into that application launcher, phone, contacts, and search icon to find contacts, and they pop up on the screen. So me personally, I wouldn't use this. I would just use my regular phone. But again, I don't really use my phone in the car that much either. So maybe this is a nice feature for you if you're driving a lot and you talk to clients or something like that. Another new feature to use that might be nice for you. This one is nice too, media control. So I noticed this one right away when I got in the car. So if you notice that the media controls are actually over here now, and so before it was this entire screen. So what they've done is they've moved it over here with the logic that basically it should make it a little more safer for you because it's closer to you, just like this part is closer to you with all the controls, your drive and all that stuff, and the speed up here. So they moved over here. And what they've also done is, if you remember from version 10, the whole swipe thing with the odometer and the tire pressure, they added that back. Yay! So if you're familiar with the Tesla community, nobody on version 11 likes that you have to go hunt in these like menus here for like your trips and things like that. Super annoying. So basically what you can do is you can now swipe again. So on this on this swipe with the odometer and your current drive and since charge, basically how many miles you've gone since you've last charged, you can actually, on this trips one, you can basically set which ones you want. So right now I don't have trip A set, but if you hit the check mark here, it'll just add it. So you can customize that to whatever you want. I like it like this with just current since your last charge and odometer, but that's how you do that. So now you've got the info here where you can swipe it, which is much better, to be honest. And then you can adjust which ones you want to see here. And then also, if you swipe again to the right one more time, you also get your PSI back, which is nice. And so it's basically just pulling from the service screen here. But obviously way easier to just swipe instead of have to hunt through these screens while you're driving. And it still pulls it, you know, I drove the car about an hour ago, so it's pulling PSI from about an hour ago. So that's there. Emissions testing mode via mobile app. So if you're a jokester and you like doing the whole fart thing, you can now do that via the app. So basically what you also keep in mind that you need mobile app 4.15 as well, just like the dog mode, to be able to do this. And then all you need to do is basically you can drag it from your controls to your home screen, and then you can basically just put the fart icon at the top. So if I just show you real quick in the app here, all you need to do is long press any of the quick controls at the top. And now you got customized controls coming up. So you'll see the fart icon. Press and hold that, and then you can drag it to the top here. And then that's how you can see that's how you can use it. And then you can just use it whenever you want. Let's see if it works. There we go. So yeah, so there you go. So you can, you know, do that if you want. Fun stuff. I don't typically do that stuff, but if you want to, you know, joke around, maybe your wife or your partner is driving the car around, you want to mess around with them while they're driving, that's something you can do. So that's kind of fun. Always rainbows. So if you're on autopilot, you can actually change this so it's a rainbow all the time. If you like, I guess, looking different or seeing things different. For me personally, I'm not going to use this, but it's always fun to have these different little options in here. So if you want to do that, here's how to do that. Application launcher, toy box, railroad, and always rainbows. So there's a couple other things that I noticed too that are not on my car but are kind of big, just because I don't have the specific car that they added them to. And that is going to be the rear screen control. So if you have a Model S or X, the newer ones that have the screen in the back, you can actually control that screen from the front now. And you can select between the front and rear displays as a preference, as a preferred audio source. Or completely lock the rear screen. So you just need to go to the application launcher and then rear to be able to do that. And then one other thing too is Steam. So if you're a gamer, I mean, I used to kind of be a gamer before we had kids. I'd play CSGO a lot with my friends, which is a Steam game. Steam is now on the computer, or on the car as well. So I'm not really sure how that would work, how well the car would handle playing a game, but it's there. And it's only for the Model S and X right now, 2022 model year and above, with 16 gig DDR memory, and it requires premium connectivity. So if you have one of those models, newer models, you can actually use Steam from the car. I do believe that Steam, from what I've been seeing, will make it to the 3NY at some point, but obviously if you need, 16 gig DDR memory, you might have to get a retrofit for your car or something, if Tesla offers that. So I guess that's something to keep in mind for now. But, I think Tesla did announce that they would add Steam to the cars, and they didn't specify it was just going to be the S and X. So at some point you should see it on your 3NY if you're looking forward to that, or, maybe supercharge a lot and you want to play games on Steam while you're waiting. It'd be a great time killer to do that. So those are the two other things that I noticed that aren't on my specific car. But that's all the updates for this one. Quite a few cool updates. Tesla always giving us little gifts every year, which is really nice, especially around the holidays. So, that's all for this video. If you have any comments, leave them below, and thanks for watching.